program, or what is the mentality after the last 4 seasons?
Yeah, the mentality, I think, for as long as I've been involved with the program, which is seems like forever,
Yeah, yeah.
has always been that we can look ourselves in the eye honestly and think we have a chance at winning a championship. Last year, as you said, we were disappointed with our overall performance. Had some holes that we weren't able to fill from our graduations the years before, and we struggled at times to find consistency on the defensive end for sure, and injuries, a lot of things added up. But,
Sure.
but in general, we underperformed to our standards, and we hope we filled some of those gaps this year. We'll have a number of kids graduate, so we have a new team. We have, I think, 11 of our 24 are new to the program. So that will present its own version of challenges to integrate everybody into the program and to the team and to what we're doing. But I like the group, and I think we've got a good shot at being competitive on a day in and day out basis.
It's still incredible accomplishment to win 3 of the last 4 national championships played for this, and such a storied program in Cal. And we heard that a little bit from Foti already, and across the conference. What makes you excited about this particular season, 2025, as we enter it?
Yeah, like I said, I think we filled a lot of our holes that we felt like we needed. We were able to score goals on just about everybody, but we'd score 17 or 16 on UCLA, and we'd give up 19 or 20. So it was frustrating from that standpoint, just trying to somehow keep up. Losing Adrian was a big deal in the cage, and that's a big hole to fill. A guy that goes on to such great accomplishments at the Olympics is pretty hard to fill. But I feel like we've gotten better. Our younger guys that played last year are a year older, and they have some experience, and we have a good freshman coming in that I think can help us as well. So I think that'll be a big piece of the team that'll keep us in games, and we just don't have to scramble to try to outscore people every week. So.
Yeah, and you're talking about those freshmen, you're talking about those newcomers, some excitement around that. Maybe tell us a little bit about some of the highlights of that freshman class and who's coming through.
Yeah, I mean, in the goal, we've got the under 20 world champion goalie of the tournament in Aran Pina out of Spain. So he'll be joining us in a week or so. He's at under 18s now, so he's a young kid. But it allows us a lot of experience there. He's played in the first division in Spain the last few years as a starting goalie at a very young age. So that's a key piece for us. And we've got a couple transfer portal kids in Chase Wilson out of Pepperdine and Dom Brown from Santa Barbara. So that, again, kind of gives us some depth at the center position. And we've got a few other attackers. Thomas Peroni out of Spain was also on that team. That will give us, again, to try to help us replace Max Casabian, Roberto Valera. Roberto didn't play much last year because of injury, but we're going to have to replace some of those guys, and other guys will step up, like Marci Satmari, who will be here later. We've got 4 really good lefties, so that'll be an interesting thing that we haven't had in the past. So I think you'll see a lot of 2 lefty lineups that just because of the amount of lefties we've had, you don't see as often. But we got 4 lefties that can play. Kai Inoue coming in as a freshman, was 17-year-old Olympian from Japan. He's a special player, and he'll be exciting to watch. So I think we've got a lot of different pieces. We've got good defenders. We got good centers. We got good right-handed attackers. We got 4 lefties. So we'll cause some problems. But we got to put them all together because, like I said, 11 of 24 are all brand new. So.
So what you're talking about is like putting together a loaded roster. That's a loaded roster, kind of top to bottom, and now you got to piece all those things together in this kind of new world order of college athletics, right? You mentioned transfer portal. A couple of guys coming on the transfer portal. How does Cal adjust to kind of this new world order of transfer portal, NIL, right? This new post-house settlement NCAA situation. How does Cal adjust to that?
It's definitely a brave new world. The transfer rules are all geared towards the athlete and making it as easy as possible for them to explore different options, which is great for the student athlete. It's hard on the programs that people are leaving.
Yeah.
I think Berkeley, we've had some success in the short window of transfer portal of having guys like Jake Howerton come in and really help a team that won a couple national championships, coming from Pepperdine. So I think it's a destination that I think we can play in that world pretty well, as some place that a kid that went developed, and wants a different challenge, that we can take advantage of that and look at it. It creates some issues with recruiting and what are you doing with existing recruiting classes, the new rules with roster caps. You really have to think about, do I add 3 freshmen, 2 freshmen? Do I hold 2 in my pocket for the transfer portal to see what's going to happen? Because every year there's going to be people in the transfer portal. We know that. Just what's the quality, and what's the fit to your program, and do they make sense for you? But I think it's something that we're going to have to navigate one way or the other.
Yeah, and you really, again, for Cal water polo, such a historic and storied program over time. You recently received a pretty major gift to help kind of stabilize the program.
Yep.
Maybe talk to us about that gift and talk to us about the impact your alumni and your alumni base has had on the program.
Yeah, I mean, we got a long history of alumni involvement in the program, and we've had endowments in the past that have come from the Speaker family and the Fisher family and the Kronk family and the Hellman family that started back in the 80s when there was similar turmoil in college athletics, and programs felt like they might not be around. We've had some UCLA lost their men's swim program at one point during that time.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the fire that started that push with Catino and Coach Thornton to drive towards getting an endowment started, not endowing the programs, but getting an endowment started. So that was the Splash Club back in the 80s. That was a $5 million gift to just right the ship a little bit. And that turned into Friends of Cal Aquatics. 2 years after I started, we combined the women's programs and the men's programs with another push to build on our endowment. We had the Splash Club endowment, which was another $10 million from those same 4 families.
Wow.
And this latest one from Ned Speaker, long time coming, a lot of work involved in it, but $26 million to men's swimming and men's water polo at Cal, and amazing, the largest single athletic gift of any sport in the school's history.
Wow.
So to come from the sport of water polo is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows you just what water polo means to the school, and so it's an important gift. It does keeps the lights on for a long time, and it shows that it's an important sport at our school.
Yeah, and it's great to hear not just about Cal, but as almost a blueprint for other universities and other people as we talk about the existence of water polo collegiately and the sustainability of the sport. It's really an amazing gift, not just for you but for others to see, so that we can keep water polo playing at the collegiate level for a long time to come.
Yeah, it shows that it's possible, that there are people out there that love this sport enough and it impacted them so much that they want to give back and they want to create an environment so that the kids of today can experience what they experienced when they were in school. And so all these programs create and put out such great young men that I think that the donors see that impact has been really significant, and they want to help, and they want to create the ability for those kids to have similar experiences that they did.
Yeah, that's incredible. Very meaningful, right? Really meaningful. We got some questions from the media that we'll take
of course.
At this time now for Coach Evers.
Hey, Coach, Sean Springer with Game On Live Studio. You've mentioned quite a bit of the legacy and the financial impact that's happening. How does that impact your athletes on a day-to-day basis as you come in, you're getting ready for the season and getting ready to compete against the top 4 teams in the nation? Yeah,
I mean, the donation isn't going to help us, slow down Ryder Dodd. So, we have to deal with the teams in front of us. And it's a great thing, and it gives a lot of confidence to our players that this is a really important sport at this school. So, And I think over the long run, it just allows us to really focus on maybe some things that we can do outside the box to help, in this world of expanding scholarships. Does that help us get there? And, does it help us find a different avenue to do that? Or, just again, making sure that we are not worried about the next thing that's going to happen, because the world's changing. The money is real within the football world. If you're a big, Division I football school, basketball school, the focus is that. And we all know it. We know our place on the totem pole. But as the schools get pinched, the reality is that sports can become a way, different sports can get cut. That you have to be realistic about that. And now we're at a position where we don't have to worry about that. Now we can worry about, okay, what's our 30-year plan to try to maintain the excellence that we've had for the last 45 years. So it gives us that ability to really look out past next year.
Yeah. Any other questions from me? Yeah. All right. I think that's really meaningful, Coach, that gift and what you're trying to do to build that legacy. Just take us home here with the returners and having the athlete that you've hired here, Marcy, right? What can you expect from guys like Marcy and the returners and wrapping up this roster as you get excited for the season?
Yeah, we have a lot of players that have multiple national championships.
Yeah.
So those are kids that are hard to wrestle to the ground, and I think they're very motivated coming off of the frustrating season they had last year. They've worked really hard in the spring. They've worked really hard in the summer. They're ready to compete, and now and they're a good group. So the onboarding of these new guys isn't emotionally and is not going to be an issue. I don't see there's an issue there, but they've got to go and compete. And what happens when they, have a bad quarter, struggle a little bit? Adversity's coming, and it's coming really fast. So how do we handle that? And that'll be the testimony to the season. Like if we can do that well. Yeah. And fight through those things, because all these teams that we play, especially in our conference, are going to challenge us for an hour and a half from beginning to end, and we have to be able to handle that well. But like I said, I think we've got a strong enough team at every position to compete with anybody, and we've just got to get ourselves to the point where at the end we can get to a national championship tournament. And when we've gotten there, we've been pretty successful. So the key is just getting there.
Yeah, you certainly have, Coach. And I think we're all really excited for the season. And thanks again for coming with us today. And
appreciate it.
Keep taking these questions. And, go Bears.
Go Bears.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. All right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, welcome back. Again, to the first Collegiate Water Polo Media Day. Thanks to the MPSF for hosting this. We're with Coach Brian Flax here at Stanford now, and as we continue to get excited for this 2025 season and looking ahead, I know you've had some preparations this summer, some other stuff you've been working on. What gets you the most excited, Coach, about this 2025 season?
Yeah, well, I think we graduated, some really great players this past year, five fifth years. Yeah. And we have a really good returning young core group of guys. We were the only team, I think, last year that had 4 true freshmen playing in the MPSF. Yeah. So we have this young group that's excited to play, and I'm eager to get the opportunity to see how they do.
Yeah. You had a really strong 2024, right? End of the season at, ranked 3rd in the country, all right, walking out of that. Lost to UCLA in the semis, right, as you're working in. 17 returners, it sounds like, coming in this year. So how do you now go from being having a young core to maybe having a more experienced core with all these returners coming back?
Yeah. Well, we do have a lot of returners, but I think someone told me the other day we graduated 60% of our goals during the season and over 90% against MPSF opponents.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of production to make up for. Those guys, Riley Pittman, Soren Jensen, Dash McFarland, Ethan Parrish, like Jack, all those guys. They were, They held us. They were that young group when I came in, and they've graduated. And I think hopefully they've passed on some important lessons and values to this young group and have taught them a lot and prepared them. But I think it's, for the most part, we're going to really rely on some young talent to kind of come in and carry us this year, which will be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. So that young talent you're talking about, maybe highlight some of these great freshmen coming through and some of these newcomers to the program that you're excited about.
Yeah, well, we had 3 guys go to Junior Worlds, or we actually had 5 guys go to Junior Worlds. 3 for the United States. So Will Schneider, Ryan Ohl, Max Elikoff represented the U.S. They got second. Botan Balo played for Hungarian team, and then Orestes Zervoudakis played for Greece. So we had 5 guys over at Junior Worlds, which is exciting. 3 of those guys played last year, and then Ben Four, who I think is an elite level talent who will really, really surprise and impress people. So that's our rising sophomore class. And then we have returners like Gavin West, Alex Georgie at center, Wes Temkin in the net. Like we have this really, I think, nice mix of players with some like really elite level experience that played a lot in big games last year, but these young guys that have had that, international experience, played at a high level, but not yet in college. So like this is a good opportunity to like really, really, get them great experience, but hopefully compete at the highest level.
Yeah, so when you talk about the international experience, right? So talk about the guys, 5 guys played at the World Aquatics Junior World Championships, USA members winning silver medal, right? At that, which is the highest medal USA has received in a long time, on the back of these college players like your guys here. How do you see that experience, that international experience, like translate to the college level? How have you seen it, manifest itself into success?
Yeah, it's so valuable. Like honestly, one of the cool parts for me being at Stanford now, this is be going to my 4th year. When I got there, we never had a player playing world champs. We had 2 this past summer. We had those 5 guys make the Junior Worlds team. So this is like really my first kind of group that have gotten that experience over the summer and played at super high level tournaments. And I think that you can't really like, one of the interesting things about college is that you really have 30 games that are super important, between 20 and 30.
Right.
And so that you have this long off season where they're good tune-up games and they're scrimmages, but it's really tough to emulate that type of pressure and intensity. And so guys getting that international experience to go over and play for a medal, and those types of experiences are so valuable getting them ready for the college season.
Yeah, and we'll get to see that in action, not just for Stanford, a lot across the board for the conference, like we've been talking about, right? To see that happen. You talk a little bit about the first time for Stanford to do this. Yet there's this really long history of Stanford water polo that's just had a lot of sustained excellence over the years, right? So maybe talk a little bit about the alumni base and the friends of Stanford water polo, the people that have kind of really helped keep the program at a high level, and what that means to you and your success moving forward.
Yeah, I mean. It's been special. It's funny coming off the heels of I was just at Ben Halleck's wedding, which was like a reunion of young Stanford alumni and the Pro Reco team. It was it was like who's who of water polo out in Italy, and so I got to see those guys and how passionately they still feel about the program and excited. We had the biggest ever alumni event this past year. We had like 75 alums come back.
Wow.
The alum are excited. It's like definitely been one of the coolest experiences that I've had as a coach is how involved and excited and engaged our alumni base is, and wanting to make sure that success is carried on from what Vargas did, the previous 25 years, and Dante before that. And they've, I don't know, I'm like definitely, inspired and motivated by those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about Ben Halleck's wedding this summer, right? Like now you're starting to get guys that you coached, as young athletes, and kind of seeing him grow up and seeing the alumni support coming back for the program. Anything else you guys do this summer to help yourself prepare in this off season to get ready for 2025?
Yeah, we've trained hard. We definitely trained hard. We as a club team, so separate, but most of the guys involved in that, we went over to Japan. Cool. So most of the guys that do the club, we went over to Japan, competed over there, or trained over there with the Japanese national team as they were preparing for World Champs, which was a great experience. Wow. That was pretty cool. Great culture, and I thought it was really, really awesome. But no, we've just been we just got back from a break this past week, and we're in it now. So they're happy they have the day off today. They're happy I'm here.
I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine. We're going to see Wes Temkin later, right? Starting goalkeeper for you, right? Really important between the pipes for Team USA and for Stanford. You see him do it. Talk a little bit about Wes and what he means for the team coming up here.
Yeah, I mean. He was nails for us last year. He was unbelievable. Second team All-American. Thought like really when we were at our best last year at our peak, it was because Wes was just so consistent in the cage for us. I think you kind of look back, if you kind of look over the last 24, 25 years and who wins NCAA championships, it's often teams with the best goalie.
Yeah.
Like just because they offer that stability, that offer that confidence and consistency. And we're really excited, obviously, to have him back. And I think the other cool part about West is, he transferred in. And so, like, the way he integrated in was special, honestly. Just how he just, like, jumped right in with the team. So,
yeah, that's great. What, for fans out there watching, right, when they see Stanford play water polo this fall, 2025, any changes from last year? What should fans expect to see Stanford and a Brian Flack's coach team?
I hope we're disciplined. I hope we're tough. I hope we play great defense. That was something that we were really fantastic at last year. But I also hope that we're like creative and unique, and especially on offense, especially with I think we have a lot of young talent. We're super deep in the middle of the pool. Our centers, Will Schneider, Alex Georgie, Resties. We have this really great young pipeline of centers that I think will help us hopefully control front courts, and we'll see though. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think we're all excited for the fall. Do we have any questions from the media now for Coach Flax? Yeah.
Coach, Sean String with Game On Live Studio. You mentioned Ben Ford, Wes Temkin, Will Schneider, Gavin West. I've watched these, and you have watched these kids grow up, and they have always been stallions in the water, right? They want to score from anywhere in the pool. As they move into the college ranks, do you have to control them, or do you just let them go?
Yeah, I would throw Ryan Ole in there too. Obviously, he was another guy that was mentioned, and there's obviously more that I'm sure that I'm missing, but. No, I think that there's, you want some structures. I think you have to have some structure, but within the structure, there has to be a lot of freedom. I know that people think generally with me, disciplined, and but I also coach Johnny Hooper. Johnny is one of the most outside the box players that you will ever meet. Even Ben, to a certain degree. You watch Ben play, Ben is not, in a box by any means. And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing every ounce of talent that we have. And so getting those guys, opportunities to be successful at what they're good at, and finding ways to kind of we have to adapt as coaches. We have to create systems that are going to make them successful too. So.
Yeah. All right. We appreciate the time, Coach Flax. We're excited for this upcoming season. And Stanford, anything else you want to end on? Anything else you want people out there to know about Stanford in this upcoming season? No, I would just tell everyone, I think college water polo is getting, the competitive equity in our sport is really cool, and it's getting better every year. You have the Princetons, the Fordhams, these teams, all these teams being more and more competitive, and so you have this great opportunity, as we're trying to build up our sport, to get out there and support. Go watch these games, because there are going to be so many good games this year, and so many opportunities to watch really high level players and high level teams, that I just encourage all the fans to go out there and do that. And a big thank you to you and MPSF for doing this media day. What a cool opportunity for our sport. Yeah. Well said. Let's watch a lot of water polo this fall and support the growth of the game, and exciting it is, and you're a big part of that. Thanks, Coach Flax. Of course. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Good job seeing you, man. As always. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is take two. Evidently, we had a little technical difficulty when I was talking earlier, but you really don't want to hear from me. You certainly want to hear from the coaches and student athletes. But I would like to welcome everybody again to our first ever MPSF Men's Water Polo Media Day, and the first collegiate Water Polo Media Day of its kind. I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors, SNR Sport, Delphina USA, Malmston, 6-8 Sports, and Overnight for producing and broadcasting today's events. I'd also like to welcome Connecticut College and Johns Hopkins to the MPSF, joining an already competitive 7-team MPSF East Division, and we welcome them this year. It goes without saying that the MPSF is the best conference in the history of collegiate water polo. Since its inception in 1992, the MPSF has won all 33 NCAA championships. Additionally, there have been 2 MPSF teams competing for that national championship in 31 of the 33 championships. On an international stage, we're no slouch either. At the Paris 24 Olympic Games, all 13 members of the Team USA were alums or current members of the MPSF. We're looking forward to another exciting season. It's going to be competitive, as always, and we look for some exciting games. And it all culminates with our MPSF Championship, November 21st to 23rd at Stanford University. I'd like to now introduce our moderator for today's Media Day. That's John Abdu. He is the Executive Director of the Association of Collegiate water polo coaches. Thank you from me, and John, take over.
Thanks, Bodie, and thank you everybody for supporting this media day, not just for the MPSF, but for college water polo in general. And we hope this sets the standard for other conferences and for other institutions, for everybody around the country to really support the growth and the sustainability of college water polo. So thanks to the conference sponsors and everybody for doing this. It's great to continue to promote our sport. We love this sport, but also the elite people that we have in it, and it's great to start with the defending national champions here in UCLA. So thanks, Adam, for being with us today and doing this. It's been a exciting time for UCLA water polo on many levels, but let's start with the national championship last year to this year. Moving from that squad to this squad, what makes you excited about the 2025 season as we get started?
Look, I mean, last year was a culmination of 3 years of hard work. Obviously, with Cal where they were at, coming so close, adding new pieces, and to finally kind of get over the top and get back to that position that we all try to strive to get to was so meaningful. The reality is it's a new year, it's new teams. All the teams in our conference and across the country are better, and our hope is we're moving the needle forward too.
Yeah. You had a lot of preparation, obviously, the years leading up to that, but you didn't slow down after this season was over. Looking back, right, you win the national championship, then you guys go into the USA Water Polo National League, win the National League. You go on up to University of Pacific, win the Pacific Cup in the spring, then go into the summer. It's several athletes competing in the World Aquatics Junior World Championships, including several on the USA team that wins the silver medal, highest medal that USA has had in any World Aquatics competition. And then after that, you're competing at the World University Games in Germany over the summer, where you also achieved a silver medal. Maybe take us through that progression of off-season work and where that leads you up to now.
Yeah, it's important. Success sometimes can be dangerous. And when we met in the off-season come December, we set out some goals for the off-season. Credit goes to the guys; they nailed it. They had an incredible off-season. When we had the opportunity to put UCLA in the World University Games, it was a no-brainer. The hard part is we have so many moving pieces. We have guys with our U.S. team. We have players with Brazil, Hungary. We have junior team players. But I thought, no doubt, experience is what matters. And to have 4 guys in Zagreb on that team is incredible. To have 3 in Singapore, current players, is incredible. And then for us to take a group over to Germany, that isn't necessarily our best team, but the experience is providing each of those players. The hope is it's going to put us in a position to be stronger for this upcoming season. All of it was for this fall, and that was the mindset behind all of that.
So you talk about the World University Games. Not everybody's super familiar with the World University Games and what it comes. Describe what that experience is like for the athletes and the coaches and what they benefit from it.
Yeah, the reality is I think it's the closest thing to an Olympic Games, but it's got an age cap. You have to be, I think, 2 or 3 years out of college. Right. You have to be from the given country, so our foreign kids can't be on the team. Basically, this time there wasn't a village, but there was an opening ceremonies. To play against countries who it's a collection of individuals from the whole country, that experience is just unmatched. You can't get it here. But then also for our student athletes to meet people from all over the world is a really important piece of that experience as well.
Yeah, great experience, right? For those that haven't get a chance to see it, it's actually going to be in North Carolina in 2029, so we get to host it here in the United States. So for people to catch that, you said something earlier that I want to come back to. You said success can be dangerous, right? UCLA as a program is built on sustained competitive excellence, right? You say water polo has been great for a very long time, and particularly under your tenure, right? You've had a lot of success. How do you keep the success going, and how do you maintain it in that type of environment?
The group has to make a choice, and fortunately, we have a pretty veteran group that's had a lot of experience. Even our young guys, we've had guys who have played in the Olympics that are coming back for the second year, for example. The reality is we have to set a program that has to be harder. We have to set goals. We have to set standards of who we want to be. And conditions, and the reality is the staff's job is to hold the standard. And my hope is we're just going to build off where we left off last year. And the reality is we understand, it's very clear to us in our program, we got to get better because we know the competition's going to be better. But the trainings have to be better. The training plans have to be better. Every aspect of the program, the bar has to raise, period. And they've answered that. You know, we had a good off season. They answered a lot of things over the course of the summer, but we still have a mountain to climb for sure.
Yeah. Well, you've given the guys a lot of credit about this offseason and buying in and committing to what you're doing. Maybe let's talk about some of those guys, some of the returners that you're looking to that you're counting on to continue to carry the torch.
Yeah, you know, look, we got a lot of great experience this year. You know, we have both Ryder and Chase back. Obviously, their experiences are different than most. So, you know, even a kid like Ben Lathy this year having that experience from Singapore, his first time being with the national team. Bodie Brinkema with the junior team. You know, the reality is we have a lot of pieces that we can lean on in tough times, and we have a lot of good leadership and guys who have been in those positions time and time again. And they're going to be critical, just like every team's leaders in those moments are critical. But I really do love the experiences that our players have had, not only here with us at UCLA in tough moments, but with their other given national teams. And I think that's going to be a huge piece for us moving forward.
So you have all that experience, all this international experience coming in this summer. Some of these veterans, obviously the Dodd brothers, you highlighted. We'll talk to Ryder a little bit later today. I think we're all excited to see them play. But maybe talk about the newcomers, any new additions to the roster that you're going to have to integrate here as you chase back-to-back championships.
Yeah, you know, look, again, we had guys last year. You know, it's so competitive. All the top schools, it's so competitive to be into the 16. You know, there's players who have been in our program for a year or 2 years that will probably be pushing to make that group that haven't necessarily arrived. You know, the reality is you know, I think Bodie, for example, is a great example. Last year he played a majority of the season, then didn't make the NC2A roster. I think we're going to see big things out of him just based on his progression over the offseason and this summer. You know, with our new guys, we don't know. You know, we just started 3 days ago.
Right.
And we want to make sure we're putting kids in the right position. If they're going to play, they got to play. But the reality is you know, we're going to have to lean on some new people. You know, Ben Larson, whose brother graduated, we're going to have to lean on him more in the middle. Gray Carson, you know, and you know, look, a young kid like Pete Castillo too, his role goes up. And so, you know, for me, it's not just the incoming freshmen, but you know, it's the group that has kind of been right on the cusp, and those are going to be important pieces because we have some holes to fill for sure from last year.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and actually is probably a hallmark of your success and sustained competitive excellence is you're not necessarily relying on freshmen to come in, play big roles. Guys that have been around in the program learn the system, and they're ready to step up into bigger roles as they move forward. Talking about that sustained competitive excellence, you know, I've talked about this in the past a little bit about this new world order of collegiate athletics. All right, the NCAA, it's changing post-house settlement, NIL, transfer portal, things like that. How does a program like UCLA, right, adjust to this new environment and keep yourself going?
I think we're all trying to figure it out. It's moving so fast. My hope is we're creating an environment where the value's so great for the student athlete that they feel like there's more to it than just $1.
Sure.
When they walk out, they're getting something more. They're going to have the confidence when they walk out to do whatever they want in the real world. And you know, the reality is it's happening. It's happening in water polo. We have to be real with where the portal's going, where NIL's going. And we got to try to stay ahead of the curve, and that's a whole nother element of work for the staff. But the reality is we want to try to have a product that really kind of puts kids in a position where they're like, this is where I want to be. And it's not so much the dollar, it's the value of the program.
Yeah, and what part does the history of the program and the alumni and really the storied program of the UCLA Bruins, how much does that play a part in creating that environment you're talking about?
You know, and they're the fabric of the program. You know, we constantly talk about our past. We try to have several alumni events and honor teams every year. You know, but the crazy thing is in college sports, you know this working in it, is the days of a facility or a name or a tradition are starting to go by the wayside, right? Because it's really become professional and pay for play. But that's where I talk about can our program give a different value, right? Sure. And that value can be from the alumni. That value can be from a past Olympian or somebody who's in a given job field that can help a current kid. And that's really our focus in trying to, you know, project to our current kids that this is something so much more. It's the history of the program, the people of the program. And reality is it's a tough time. I mean, everything is spinning so fast, and it is hitting water polo for sure. So it's day to day, it's being flexible, And the reality is you know, there's positive and negative to where we're headed.
Yeah, it sounds like the stability of the program and the family, you say water polo family, has kept some stability on this, and you guys are in a good spot to keep this going forward. Yeah. Any questions from the media? All right, now's a good time to talk to Coach Wright. Yeah.
Coach Wright, Sean Stringham with Game On Live Studio. You play in the top conference in the United States with Cal, Stanford, and USC. What are some of the programs that are out there that keep you up at night that are not those three, that are up and coming in the competitive equity now?
No, it's a great question. You know, I said last year the parity might have been as strong as it's ever been, but I think this year is probably even better. You know, we all know what's going on back east with Princeton's and Fordham's and Harvard's, and we also know UOP and Pepperdine, which is and look, Irvine has made a huge turn in the last couple of years. You know, with Klatt back at the helm, and you know the reality is there is no easy games. You know, and the one thing that I can say about our conference that a lot of people don't understand, it's tough. You know, every game you go out, it matters. And, you know, one game could be the difference. And so the reality is college water polo has gotten better. And I think this year will even be better than last year. And there's a lot of dangerous teams out there. UCSD, I mean, the list goes on. And you just can't fall asleep, period. You know, and we know as part of this conference, we know we're going to see everybody's best game. We're gonna get their best game, and we want that. That's how we get better. So from beginning to end, it's a tough road for all the teams in our conference.
Yeah. Next question from the back. Yeah.
Okay, we have one question from the Daily Bruin. Jacob wants to know, with such a young roster, with so many returnees, what are some advantages to that youth besides just avoiding major roster turnover, or even what are the disadvantages?
Well, look, I mean, the advantages is continuity, right? Where if we have a player back for another 3 years that really understands the system, you know, I think this year in particular for everyone was a crazy year because roster caps. Is it happening? What's happening with it? So this year is a very unique year for every program where they're at with rosters. You know, some players got let go. Some players didn't get to come, for example. But the reality is with the veterans, you know, their experiences will serve our youth well as well. And the hope is it passes down to the younger guys now who will pass that down to the kids coming in a year or two from now. So it's an important piece to have a blend of veterans and younger players, and we have a pretty good blend of that right now.
All right. Coach, last minute here. Anything you want to say to everybody out there watching right now? Anything you want them to know about this upcoming season for UCLA?
Yeah. No, I think, you know, it's going to be a really, really competitive year. Our hope is, you know, it's not just about UCLA, it's about the conference. It's more importantly about the sport of water polo. Yeah. And I think our hope is to put a product out there that people enjoy. Our hope is to be in a position every game, at the end of the game to try to win. And the reality is our hope is we're helping grow this sport, which is so important, not only to myself, but our program, and I think every program in this conference.
Yeah, well said. I think we're all excited for the 2025 season and continue to see the sport grow and thrive at the collegiate level. Thanks, Coach Wright, for everything you're doing.
Yep.
And, good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, we keep this first ever MPSF Media Day going here with Coach Marco Pintara. Thank you for joining us, Marco. And Coach is really excited to talk about this season and again, another strong 2024 season that you're coming off of, another NCAA Finals appearance for USC. It feels like, you know, that's been part of my language as a broadcaster in the sport for a long time, USC and the NCAA Final, and just keeping the story program going. As you look ahead now, or it's started here in 2025, what gets you most excited about this season?
But again, chance to compete. You know, we are here to compete, and we are here to get better. Learning curve from every year for us is, you know, we always go for it. You know, so that's just a trademark of the program. There's no rebuilding year, despite the fact that we lost 9 seniors pretty much this last season, and that competitiveness, you know, and you know, pretty much we're striving to win a national championship every year. We'll make the season exciting. Can't wait.
Yeah. Always exciting stuff. Is USC? I asked Coach Evers the same question earlier. Does it feel like a national championship or bust kind of mentality? Right? Does it feel like disappointing when you don't win that championship? Is that always the goal on a yearly basis, like you're saying, or how do you judge success?
Well, look, we are fierce competitors, and it's not in my bringing up as an athlete, as myself. I was very fortunate to be coached by great coaches, and it was always installed. It's about a journey. It's about who you become. It's all holistic thing, to build individuals, and of course, the end result of that is to win and to go for win a national championship. That's why we based our program on. And every season in December, the season is over. You might win it, you might lose it, but you set new goals and you go for it. And that's exactly what we're doing year in and year out. It's a new season. It's a new story to write, and I'm enjoying the journey so far. And
Yeah. Enjoying the process, enjoying
Exactly,
the journey,
yeah.
right? Key hallmarks of high performance. So you talk about going into this with 17 returners from last year, right? So you lost those 9 seniors, but you have a lot of athletes coming back. Maybe talk about some of those returners, some big names coming back to help you this year.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we have All-Americans in Bernardo Herzer, our goalie, and Robert Lopez, who pretty much had a phenomenal season last season. Bernie, who was really a difference maker in our pretty much defense. He changed a couple of things, and but more importantly, his teammate Charlie Mills, who is another extraordinary goalie that is creating that competition. That competition brings the best out of him, and so these guys are really pushing each other. And then we have a whole class of pretty much guys that are waiting, for their opportunity. My expectation of Evan Asmus really is to step into that senior role this year. He's probably one of my favorite players I ever coached. Can't wait to see what this kid can do. He's playing phenomenally in out of season as well. Andre Grgurevic, coming back with his and ours with the Australian national team. Got a great season as well last season. And many, many more players. This is what I love about SC. It's, these kids compete in training and they can't wait for their opportunity. And last season, many players took it, and expectations are for them to just keep growing and, getting after it.
Yeah, that's how you keep it going. You also have a long history of, I know, coaching and developing great goalkeepers at USC. You talked about Charlie Mills and winning a silver medal this summer in with the World Aquatics Junior Championships. With Team USA, you have Bernard Herzer competing at the Senior World Championships with Team USA. How do you see their competition continuing to build? We're going to see Bernard in a little bit later today. And how do you keep continuing to develop great goalies at USC?
Well, look, the program works, obviously. But again, they're fine athletes. They're fine human beings. And this is what I love about this team. Athletes that we train and they're actually we surrounded. It's really what this team is all about. So these two gentlemen, they compete on a regular basis. They bring the best out of them. And with us is, who is the best that will play. They know that. And, they compete and they really support each other. So whoever is on the goal, the other one will support him to the best of their ability. And if opportunity presented, I know they will do phenomenal. So this is something that we are very, very blessed to have.
Yeah. And that's continued with that, again, that excellence moving forward. Another big part of your excellence that you guys have been able to sustain is bringing in new athletes into this. So maybe talk about the newcomers, transfers, freshmen, new faces that'll be wearing, Trojan Red this fall.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very pleased with the process of bringing up, for example, young gentleman from East Coast, Luke Nelson, who was waiting patiently the last 2 years, developing. Kid is shooting the ball 50 miles an hour, excellent shooter. So I think this year, this offseason, he showed really a progress and something that, he might turn a couple of heads, him playing. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to be able to do. And of course, players that I already mentioned coming up. But the most importantly, we're really blessed with a really good recruiting class. We brought 8 players in with transfer, obviously, from UOP. Mikhailo Vukazic, again, world-class person. Tribute to, his program and his coach. James, very exciting player, that's going to bring versatility to our team on every position. He's super talented. You can even play him in a goal.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, but I'm very excited to see what he's going to bring to a team. Freshman class is phenomenal.
Yeah, clearly.
Kevin kind of like kid had a phenomenal out of season with National League,
Yeah.
and great Junior Olympics. You
Yeah.
know, he was, I believe, MVP of the tournament, and he really brings that competition in a pool, and he's very, very competitive. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do. And we have a new center, the Serbian national team member, Strahinja Krstic, who was the MVP of a couple of international tournaments, and we have high expectations from him. You know, very down to earth young gentleman who is really willing to work hard and keep his mouth quiet, and I really love that about him.
I'm sure you do, Coach.
And he's just another great addition,
Yeah.
to a team. And then many more. I mean, like I can go after each freshman right now that they're leaving their mark and they're learning the system. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is an absolutely loaded roster, right, from top to bottom, right? Lots and lots of talent. You mentioned Krstic, the center from Serbia, right? Great that he's integrating well, but it's rare for a program to have a Coutinho Award finalist coming from UOP, transferring for a grad year here with USC. Maybe talk about how you, and it's sometimes obvious how do you integrate freshmen and newcomers into the program too. How do you integrate somebody so seasoned and such a veteran into the USC program?
That's a great question. I mean, it's hard. And it's all about the personality. Sometimes people takes him a couple of years to integrate. Mihailo is not the type of a person. He really bought into a team. It's a team first mentality, and when you have a transfer, one of the oldest players on the team stays after and cleans up the pool. That shows value, and this team is all about that. And lead by example, and I'm really happy, the way he is with the team, the way he's progressing, and the examples that he's setting. He really wants it, and really, we are the team to provide it for him.
Yeah, that's great. So we've talked a lot about the roster. We've talked about so much talent in the roster, making a run for the finals again this fall. I've asked every coach this too. We're in a kind of a new world order of NCAA athletics. We're all adjusting to this, right? You have, again, such a storied program with so much success. How have you had to adjust in this new post-house settlement order with NIL, transfer portal, right? Settlements, all these things in this new order. How does USC and Coach Mitarch adjust to this?
Look, it's a lot of moving pieces, and you have to stay educated. You have to see what can you provide, what you cannot. And what you cannot, it's a key, because you don't want to overpromise.
Right.
And we always took that caution kind of road. And to my benefit, I'm very, very grateful that I didn't burn myself, and because you don't want to overpromise to your athletes.
Sure.
And I really want to keep my word that I tell to my athletes. And we are adjusting. Obviously, we did a phenomenal job. My staff did a phenomenal job recruiting.
Sure.
I'm just here as a head coach, but the value is the players, value is the staff, coaches, and everybody around the program. And, everybody's doing their job the hardest, and obviously we benefited this year. And then again, the market is adjusting. We are trying to adjust as well, stay informed, and really do what's the best for the program and for the sport of water polo in general.
Yeah, and USC, an important piece of that. Talk a little bit about your alumni base. So many athletes have come out of this program, coaches have come out of the program. What do they mean to the program? What does the Trojan family mean to the support of men's water polo at USC?
Look, it means a lot. I'm a product of that family.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the reason why I stayed with the program for 30 years. I mean, it's kind of like a wink if you've been kidnapped, like deal. I don't know any better, to be honest.
Sure.
I did my graduate school there, being coached by probably the greatest water polo coach, coaching staff in general. And it's kind of it's hard to leave it. It's kind of like you feel duty to continue to do it, to work it that hard. And I know the alums feel the same. The support that I'm receiving personally as alum from friends of the program, it's great. And this is all. It's all about that passion and. Just happy to be part of that family and part of that support.
And it continues to grow. Might be a good time to take some questions from the media at this point.
Coach, Sean Stringer with Game On Live Studio. 8 of the last 20 years, USC has won the national championship. Quite a thing. Last year, similar question that I asked Coach Wright. You had an overtime victory against Fordham, 18-16, to advance into that national championship game, which was an incredible game to watch. How do you use that? I'm assuming national championship is the goal this year. And how do you motivate your athletes to keep that game in mind? And how do you manage the up-and-coming teams that are in the college landscape?
But look, it's about a mindset in general. And I remind my athletes immediately after, what's been done has been done. So next day, it's next season. So you have to take every season the same. It's about the mindset. It's about the way you approach day-to-day habits, day-to-day work, striving toward perfection, to be better. And you do not win a championship in December. You win a championship in January, in off-season. And that hard work, constantly creating and challenging these boys, men, to become a man, is what wins it. And every year, we are going for it. There's no offload. There's no rebuilding year. Everybody's asking me, okay, you graduated 9 players, so this is a reload year. This is rebuilding year. No, it's every year. It's a year to win it, and you go for it. This is what we're competing for, and yeah, this is what USC is all about.
You don't rebuild, you reload, right? Keep going, right?
Reload
That's
and
the-
keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you do. Last minute here, Coach. Anything you want to tell the fans out there, everybody who's out there to watching USC water polo this year? What anything you want to tell them about the excitement of the season?
It's going to be a great season. I mean, would like to use this to. It's not only about our conference, USC. It's like come and watch as much live. I know you're doing phenomenal job broadcasting, but it's the best, when kids come and they watch it live to bring that excitement. And I would like to really invite everybody to come and watch this season. It's going to be great. It's not only about top 4. It's about other conferences as well. Our schedule is really, I don't know, I took chances or not, but if you look, it's loaded. It's very, very hard, and it's done just because we really want to put up a show and really, enjoy the season, enjoy the competition, and growing the sport.
Yeah. You heard it here. Come out, watch some water polo. We got one more question, I guess, from the back here, right, before we go. Yeah.
Wes from Water Polo Wednesday. You have yet to win a national championship with the men since taking over as head coach. You finished second 4 times. Is there more pressure this year with the roster?
Super pressure always. I need to get monkey off of the shoulder. But I want to remind people how hard it is to actually make it to NCAAs. Just to make that game, it's dedication of the whole team, staff, and it's not only about me. So it's not about me winning a national championship. It's about the team winning it. And like I said, consistency and hard work will pay off at the end. It's not guaranteed that you're going to make it this year. And starting that way, working consistently and doing your job to get there will pay it off. That's the way I believe. That's why I wake up every day, work hard, ask questions later, and hopefully that will give me another chance, to get in the final with the team, because team wins it, and to really win it, So that's the goal. Right?
Yeah. Thanks, Coach, for joining us today. All excited about the season this fall. You heard it from here. Let's all make it out to the games, and lots of exciting games on this schedule that we'll be watching and highlighting. So good luck this season, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So. Hey, welcome back to Media Day here, first ever with the MPSF. Just looking out to talk to Coach Ryan Pryor of Augustana. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. How you doing, John?
Doing well, Ryan. Thanks for joining us today. We're looking ahead here to the 2025 season. Just want to get your thoughts and excitement for what we can expect from Augustana this fall.
Yeah, really excited to get this season started. We've got a great group returning this year. Great leadership in our captains and our senior class in general, and the team's had a really good mindset throughout. We had a really good spring and good off season overall, and so really excited to get started and believe we could accomplish some great things this year.
Well, you're coming off a real strong 2024, finishing third at the USA Water Polo Division III National Championship. Is that now something that's an expectation to qualify? And what is a measure for success for you this fall in Augustana?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly want to be
Sorry,
in
I
the
can hear
mix to
myself
compete
too
for
much.
championships at the end of the year, both in the league and nationally. And so we're certainly looking to get back to that tournament. But really for us, the focus is on the day-to-day process. We need to focus on our process of day-to-day improvement and executing game plan and let the results take care of themselves. The ultimate goal is to win national championships, and we believe that we have an opportunity to do that, but we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. We got to take it day by day.
Yeah, and Ryan, you've done a great job of building up this Augustana program, a relatively brand new program into the sport of water polo. What have you done to really kind of fast track the success of this men's water polo program since you took it over?
Well, I think we were really ambitious right from the start. I mean, I remember our very first recruiting class, who was actually just graduated this past May. When we were recruiting them, we were already talking about competing right away and competing for league championships and national championships ultimately. And so just the way we kind of set that mindset from the start is we didn't want it to be a long building process. We wanted to be competitive right away. And we believe the best is yet to come, but it's been a really exciting process seeing how quickly we've been able to grow.
Yeah, you've done a great job, Coach, and your athletes obviously have a lot to do that as well. Later today, we're going to see from Declan Hutton, your goalkeeper from South Africa. Can you talk about him and what he brings to the table, what he's done for you in the past, and what you expect from him this season?
Yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal. In my belief, he's the best goalkeeper in the country at the Division III level, and would certainly be give a lot of Division I goalkeepers a run for their money as well. His size is something you can't teach at 6'10", but he's a very skilled goalie as well, and so having him as the backstop for the defense is a huge luxury for me as a coach. And on top of his athletic ability, he's a great energy guy, great leader. He's been a two-time captain for us, and so he's been an all-around great part of our team, and expect him to even take another step forward this year as a leader, and have a great season for us.
So you talk about, your goalkeeper in Hutton, but there's a lot of geographic diversity on this roster. I can see, Hutton from South Africa. I see athletes from the state of Washington, Illinois, Tennessee. Talk about the location of Augustana and how you've been able to attract such a geographically diverse roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to. We've taken a national and an international approach to recruiting, and I think. Kind of going back to my answer to one of your earlier questions about having those ambitious goals and wanting to build this program quickly. I think there's a lot of athletes who are really attracted to the opportunity to be a part of a growing program and to be a part of a group that's accomplishing a lot of firsts and having a lot of success along the way. And so I think that building process, I think, is one of the things that has really attracted a lot of people from all over the country and all over the world as well.
So let's talk about the rest of the roster here. Maybe a few of the returners and also the newcomers. What can we expect to see differently from the roster this fall at Augustana?
Well, I think our senior. I'll start with the senior class. Our senior class is outstanding. We talked about Declan already, but Stephen Rasick, Tyler Leslie, Mark Addison, Oscar Bannister have all had great careers for us so far, and I expect them to have great senior years, both as athletes and as leaders. Really excited about the freshman class that we have coming in. It's a really good all-around group. We've got 8 freshmen coming in plus a transfer. Kind of have all the positions covered. We have 2 goalies coming in, 1 freshman, 1 transfer who will definitely help us at the goalie position. We have a couple of centers coming in, 1 right-handed, 1 left-handed, who will give us some versatility offensively. Center defender, a handful of attackers. We have a kind of a not a freshman, but a player returning from injury, James Davis, who was injured all of last year. So he's almost like a new player because we'll be getting him back. And so I expect the new group to be able to contribute right away, and I'm really excited about what they're going to bring to the roster both this year and in the coming years.
Yeah, great to hear. Kind of as we wrap up here, Coach, let me see if there's any questions from the media at the moment. Okay. Also checking in to make sure, is there anything you want people to know about your program and what's going on this fall and what they can expect? Anything you want to communicate out to everybody listening out there right now?
No, I think it's just we're going to have a great season. We're coming into our 5th year as a program here, and you kind of mentioned the success we've had so far, and we're really excited to try to take that next step as a program to compete for national championships is the goal. I'm really excited about the schedule we have laid out, both in terms of our in the league schedule and also our non-league schedule as well. I think it's going to really help prepare us for MPSF play and hopefully put us in a position to compete for championships. And our mindset is to focus on the process and not the prize. And so that's going to be our mindset throughout the season. And so we have big goals, but we're really excited to just get into that the nitty gritty of the day to day, and excited to see what we can do this year.
I like it. Focus on the process, not the prize. That's a good quote, Coach. And congrats on everything you've accomplished with Augustana so far in your career out there. And we look forward to seeing you guys compete this fall.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, welcome back to the MPSF Media Day here for the 2025 season. We're excited to have Coach Mark Lawrence from Austin College. Coach, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, how's it going, John?
Good. Good to hear your voice, Coach. And
likewise.
Coming off of your third place finish in the MPSF East Conference in 2024, what gets you the most excited, Coach Lawrence, about this 2025 season?
Yeah, last year we had actually had a really young team. The core of our group was just mainly underclassmen, and we went into the championships, and we actually had a great season up to that point. Our young guys developed their confidence, everything. And then we kind of limped in the championship with our team leaders being injured. So we were disappointed at how our season ended. But we brought back the majority of our roster, plus a really good freshman class that we're excited about. So overall, I think we're excited to get back out there. And we know this year will be a process because we'll be young. But we're excited to get back out there and see how we do.
Yeah, you talk about those returners. We're going to talk to one of them later today, Caleb Maddox. Maybe talk about Caleb's presence in the goal and what he means to your roster.
Yeah, Caleb had a great freshman year for us last year. He started by splitting time early on in the year, and then as a freshman, he won that role midseason. He comes to us from Pegasus, so he's very well coached down there with that club team. And for him, his leadership and his maturity is really needed with our team, and we're excited for what he'll do. Talent-wise, I think he's right up there with the best goalies in D3. And I think the best thing for him is that we brought in 2 freshman goalies in this class that are going to challenge him and develop with him and grow with him. So we're really excited with our group of goalies that we have.
Well, it's great to see some of that homegrown talent from Texas, but you also talked about 9 new freshmen coming in already to make an impact on your roster. Talk about this incoming class, these freshmen coming to Austin College that you're excited to see.
Yeah, no, we're excited. The class has great balance. So we have some 2-meter players that are going to give us some depth and impact and development for the future. A handful of really good attackers, a couple of really good goalies. So across the board, we added great balance and depth to the roster, to a group that we felt was really young last year with really great performances by our overall freshman class last year. So overall, we're really excited. It's a versatile group. I think we have guys who play both 1-2 and 4-5 plus 2-meter depth. So yeah, they should have a great impact.
Yeah, any names we should be looking for in that class? Anybody you want to highlight specifically?
Yeah, so Owen Altamont from San Antonio, I think will have a good impact right away for us. He's a left-handed attacker. People who know our program well know we haven't had a high-impact left-handed attacker for a while. So he'll come in and he should contribute right away for us. We have a goalie from Houston, Jordan Pommier, whose legacy with his older brother being our first ever commit in program history. He should come in and compete immediately as well. And I think with the rest of our freshmen, they should all we're expecting all of them to compete to earn playing time right away. So time will tell, but those two stand out, right away.
That's great. You're attracting some talent over there into Austin College. And just to clarify for everybody, Austin College in the great state of Texas is not in the city of Austin. Am I correct, Coach,
No,
when I say that? Yeah.
you are correct. It's kind of a running joke here. We have an amazing group of sophomores in high school that we scout every single year, and then they realize that we're not in downtown Austin by the time they finish their junior year. So then our board changes drastically. But that's kind of like a running joke for all sports. No, our school is named after Stephen F. Austin and his family. Austin College is the oldest and the first ever private college in the state of Texas. So we're older than Rice, SMU, TCU, schools like that. And we're actually founded and older than the city of Austin being the capital. So we have great history with our school, not only in the state, but in the region and connections throughout the country. So.
Yeah, that's great. Great to highlight that history of the institution. What also being the only NCAA varsity water polo program in the entire state of Texas. So, what makes it special for student athletes to come out to your institution? Well, here's a chance to give everyone a pitch, right? What makes Austin College special,
Yeah.
and why should they come to Texas to continue to play water polo?
Yeah, so I mean, with the school, we're extremely high academic school. We're one of the strongest academic schools in the state, but in the country as well. You know, some of our flagship programs, we're the number one education school in the state of Texas. We have other programs like pre-law, pre-med that have over 95% acceptance rate towards medical school or law school. And we have connections with schools like Yale, Columbia, all the way down to regional schools like Texas Tech. So the academic foundation and fabric of our school is excellent. And, we have had success with those kids from Texas who want to stay in Texas. But, looking at our roster, you can see we have kids from New York City to Florida over the years, from Seattle to San Diego. So we've done a good job of expanding our territory that we recruit from. And it's really a credit to the academic excellence that we have.
Well, that's amazing, and congrats on helping establish a varsity water polo in the state of Texas at the collegiate level. Maybe you mentioned one of your freshmen, Owen, coming in from San Antonio. Talk about the growth of water polo in the state of Texas, the high school level, the club level, and what you've seen there and what you've experienced and how that has had an impact on Austin College.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So I got here out in 2018, and there's already a great establishment with a handful of club teams like Viper Pigeons and Thunder and what they've done over the years. And since being here, we've seen it grow a great deal, especially at the high school level. It doesn't mean that every high school is elite, but there are over, I think, 200 programs at the high school level now, and most of them are very competitive, and most of those kids are playing club. So the growth has been fantastic. Hopefully, once we see some of these moving parts finish at the collegiate level, we'll see more collegiate programs.
Yeah. Well, it's great to be the first and continue to do what you're doing. Coach Lawrence, thanks for joining us today, and best of luck this fall at Texas and in the entire MPSF season.
Thank you.
The 2025 season MPSF Media Day Men's Water Polo. We're all excited for the fall. We've been waiting to talk to Connecticut College head coach Matt Anderson. Coach, can you hear me all right?
How are you doing today? I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to hear your voice, Coach, and good to talk some Camel water polo this afternoon here. Coach, you entering the 2025 season now with a full roster. I was looking back at some of the history here when you took the program over. There were about 7 players on the roster. You've grown this program now to over 20 players. How have you done that? How have you built this Connecticut College water polo roster up over the years, and what gets you excited about this 2025 season?
Yeah, I mean, COVID hit us greatly in the sense of not being able to have for 18 months people come to campus, even though school was still happening. So we were depleted, and I just took the plan that I was going to recruit kids, whether I saw them play or not, provided they had played high school water polo. And that allowed a lot of kids to get an opportunity to become college athletes that normally probably wouldn't have. And it allowed them to come in knowing that they were going to get a fresh look. And now I mean, we're greatly improved every year since I've been able to bring kids in. And now, yes, having a roster of 20 just allows me to have more depth at every position.
That's great. That's great work, Coach, building this roster back up. Talk about the where you built this roster from. Later today, we're going to have Carson Nieder from St. Andrews, Florida, down in Boca Raton to talk to us. Maybe talk about Carson and where some of your returning athletes have been coming from.
Yeah, Carson is one of our captains, and he got a chance to get to play with Teddy Bresnahan. You remember him from John Hopkins lore back in the day.
Yeah.
And he just he was an athlete look at college who would give him a chance, and he came in at the point that I said, you're coming in and basically you're a starter unless something else happens because of the size of our roster. And he just is a workhorse that doesn't stop and is better than what you would expect him to be when you saw him play in high school. He's really turned into a frontline player, and just he's helped us recruit a couple other kids from the East Coast. We have a couple California kids, Jesse Ellis, our lefty, two-time All-American. We have a 2-meter set from Pennsylvania, a kid from Connecticut, from Massachusetts, from Texas. We have a Ukrainian goalie. So we kind of our footprint is large and wide, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, just like that of a camel, it sounds like. A large and wide footprint there, Coach. But I think that geographic diversity that you're building out there is really unique and obviously a great way to build up that roster. Talk about some of the newcomers, some of these names. You mentioned some of these All-Americans, some of these great players you had in the last season. Maybe talk about some of the newcomers coming in this season you expect to make an impact.
Yeah, you know how it is from your days at UC Irvine when you played. You always want to get a lot of depth in the center position if you can. And we got that out of Zach Dixon, out of Haverford there in Philadelphia. And we have a player from Colorado who his sister also, they're twins, is coming to play for my women's team. And he ended up playing for Craig Ackley, who I coached with and against in the Bay Area, 20 plus years ago. And so he's well versed on the game of water polo. And then we have Topher Cook from Florida, who was the Sun Sentinel Player of the Year, and I think it was the Fort Lauderdale area Player of the Year as well. And he too played a lot of club with Teddy Bresnahan down there. And so I expect him to immediately make an impact and get major minutes.
That's great. It's great recruiting work there for the program. Coach, tell us about Conn College. Tell us about Connecticut College. You've been there. You've coached, all over the country in some big places. What makes Connecticut College special? If I'm out there, I'm a family member. I'm an interested in recruit. What makes Conn College a place that I want to go continue my education and my water polo career?
Well, when I was at Division I, one of the coaches at Michigan would always tell me D3 is truly what a student athlete is. And you'd be like, okay. Now that I'm at Division III, it completely is what you would expect. Majority of kids in the nation don't have the opportunity to go Division I. And so they really are students first, and then they're athletes. So at Conn College, the opportunity to study abroad, to double major, 1900 New England Residence College, everybody's on campus, very open and inclusive. And then we compete at a high level. I mean, we have a all-deep facility. The coaching they get here isn't bad on the water polo side. And then we get to compete against, we go up to Brown and play, we go to Harvard and play. And, though you're going to be competing against those teams in the professional world, those players, so you might as well compete against them athletically. And now joining the MPSF, which years ago when I coached at San Jose State in the early 2001, 2002, we were a member of the MPSF. So I've kind of come full circle. It just allows the opportunity to play peers while also getting to understand what a complete conference is. It's a multi-sport conference. But Con College just gives kids opportunities. They have great pathways. We're a high academic school, so not everybody is able to get into Connecticut College, but those that do are just they're good students that want to be athletes but don't want the athletic side to overtake the student side.
Well, thanks, Coach. That sounds like a great place to continue your career, and great job on building the program back up. We're really excited to see Con College compete this fall, and thanks for joining us today on this MPSF Media Day.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we stayed out of the MPSF a handful of years ago in order to give the Northeast a bid to the NCAA by being the sixth member. And then as soon as they were able to bring in someone else, which they did with Long Island, we now have the opportunity. And I like the team that I have. I like the chances to compete against everybody from 1 through 7 in the MPSF. This year's team is easily probably the best team we've had since 2017 when we finished second in Easterns for D3. So I'm excited to see where it takes us.
Yeah, well, that excitement's right there with you, Coach. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you on a pool deck this fall.
All right, young man. Always good to see you.
Yeah, always good to hear your voice, Coach. Hope to see you soon, my friend.
All right.
All right, we keep going here at the 2025 MPSF Media Day for men's water polo. This upcoming season, we're now joined by Johns Hopkins head coach Matt Schlegel. Coach, can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Coach. Thanks for joining us all the way out from the state of Maryland. We're excited about this fall season here, so we're excited to talk to you here for a bit. Coach, you're coming off of a 12-23 2024 campaign. Might be frustrating, might be a little disappointing. How would you characterize the bounce back here, and what gets you excited about the 2025 season?
Yeah, even though those wins and losses seem extreme, it was actually one of our better years record-wise, and that was just being in a conference with 6 other teams that are all D1 and have Europeans and practice longer. So the fact that now we're in the MPSF East and we have more D3 games than D1 games for the first time in my coaching career, I think that just gets myself and the guys excited. The opportunity to play teams on an equal playing field, and probably come out with a better record than we have, at least in the last 10 years.
Yeah, tell us that story, right? You've also had multiple appearances in years past to the Division III Collegiate National Championship, so you've had a lot of success there. Let's talk about some of those athletes that make this success happen. We're going to talk here in a little bit to Alec Baker. Let me talk about Alec and some of the returning athletes that you're most excited to coach this fall.
Yeah, so we got the stat that I think 85% of our goals last season are coming back.
That's right. Yeah.
And similar number for assists as well. We had 3 All-Americans on the team last year. We added 2 more, and all 5 are coming back. So every All-American we could have is returning. We had 1 senior who left that contributed, but getting all those guys back, plus Gavin Brook, who had an amazing sophomore year but didn't get to play junior year, a big 6'3" lefty. He's coming back. They're all technically returners, and it's very exciting to have that good core. Our goalie Kyle is coming back. He had an injury, so he's in a 5th year getting his master's here at Hopkins. to have that leadership in the goal is incredible as well.
Yeah, it's great to hear that. Yeah, you mentioned that stat. Lots of goals coming back, and it sounds like the defense backbone by your goalkeeper coming back as well. All good stuff, Coach. You also had the fortune of recruiting the Illinois Player of the Year from 2024, Mason Hoffman. Maybe talk about Mason coming in as a freshman and any other newcomers to the program that we should know about.
Yeah, so obviously Mason has that accolade and is coming in, and he's a 5,400 breaststroker and just almost as fast freestyle, relatively, which is incredible. Legs are great, but I think for me, this recruiting class is not just about him. He was the only player that didn't play in the USA Water Polo JOs, which obviously is big for us D3. It sponsors us, but it's a place where I get to recruit the most. So out of every freshman we have, the other 5 that played, the worst a player did was 9th in gold, and he was injured, and he's their starting goalie, so I'd assume they'd get better than that. We have Ben Lucas, who was on the 4th place team, which is incredible, and we also have 6th place, 11th place, 21st place in the platinum division. To me, that just is exciting freshman class to bring with all the returners that we do have in those 5 All-Americans.
Yeah, it's an exciting group that you bring in, Coach. How do you get them excited about Johns Hopkins? Maybe talk about the reputation, the academic atmosphere, and what would get these great athletes to come out to your institution.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honest with them, right? Like, I know their dreams are curing cancer and managing millions of dollars, or
Yeah.
creating a new computer system that is gonna AI or whatever else, right? Like, that's their dream, that's their long-term goals. And Hopkins is a place where whatever you want to accomplish, there's someone here to help you and guide you and push you toward accomplishing that. Almost all the guys go out, they either get their #1 med school or they get a job offer junior year. These are all non-water polo things that Hopkins is just great, non-athletic things. The support staff we have here academically is, we're a top 10 university. But then on the athletic side, not just water polo, but the whole athletic department is really good. There's a championship given out to the best athletic Division III school every year. I think we've been in the top 2 the last 5 years, and won it 2 years in a row. Not this past year, but the ones before that. So the whole athletic department is all about having success on top of how great of a school it is.
Yeah. Yeah, what an incredible place to be a student athlete at Johns Hopkins, and what a great thing for our sport, for them to have varsity water polo and for you to continue to do that program. Last 30 seconds here, Coach. Anything you want to say or to add about this season or about Johns Hopkins that you want everybody out listening to know about?
Yeah, I just want, I think, people to give Baltimore a chance. I think it gets a bad rap from shows like The Wire, but in actuality, it's a beautiful place with a ton of culture, a ton of different neighborhoods you can go to. We have a little Italy, we have a Greek town, we have all these things that are amazing. The Orioles Stadium is one of the best stadiums in the country. We go to games. And then once you get on campus, it's absolutely gorgeous as well. And the best part is, if I were to open these blinds, you would see the construction on our pool, where we're now going to be 25 meters. We're gaining 8 inches of depth, and really going to be a game changer for the program moving forward. So,
Yeah, congrats on that facility project. As someone who's been at that pool a lot over the last 20 years in the day, I know that's something you and the university and the athletic department's been working on for a long time. So congrats on the facility upgrades, and congrats on all the success at the D3 National Championships. And we're really looking forward to watching Johns Hopkins compete this fall. Thanks, Coach, for joining us.
oh, thank you.
All right, we keep it going here on the MPSF Media Day for this fall 2025 men's water polo season. We've been excited to have all the coaches so far, and we're very excited and blessed to have Coach Gina Bella with us from Penn State Barron. Thanks for being with us, Coach. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you all clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Got you loud and clear, Coach. Thanks for joining us. And remind us all here, Penn State Barron in the great state of Pennsylvania. Talk to us a little bit about the location, where you're calling from, where your program's at, and a little bit about Penn State Barron itself.
Yeah, of course. We're located in Erie, Pennsylvania, so right in between the cities of New York, Buffalo, and Cleveland, Ohio, right on Lake Erie, close to Canada too. So we have 3 different airports we can fly from: Buffalo, Cleveland, and Erie Airport. So very centrally located, big interstate next to us. But here at Barron, we're also part of the Penn State University system. So you see those California, Cal State teams, and we're Penn State. We're Penn State. We're the only varsity program for the Penn State University. So really, really excited to have the boys come back and work hard for this season. We got a close taste of the championship last year, so looking forward to putting in the work and be better this year.
Yeah, you talk about being part of that Penn State family and being lakeside there in Erie, and you're also coming off of a 2024 where you had the most wins in program history. So talk about what brought you such success last year in 2024 and bringing this program that accolade.
I always say my coaching style, I adapt to my players a lot, and that's what I kind of teach my players, to adapt to the game. We do I played in Europe, so we do a very European style training where it's simulation scrimmages and stuff like that. But, I think it's just the hard work. The boys bought into the program, and, I'm bringing in great coaches. My sister's on staff as a volunteer assistant. She heads out to Italy to play professionally in a few weeks. We have our own goalie coach who's also alumni, Kara Stegman. Great to have our goalies work with her. And then, we just have alumni come back and help out as volunteers. So really great mix of coaching staff. This year we'll have Jack Hull, one of our All-Americans that graduated last year, that'll be helping out our centers too. So I think just bringing in different, I call it a potluck, everyone brings something different to the table that we just make it a great meal.
Yeah. Great job of that. And those most wins in program history also got you second place in the MPSF Eastern Division last year. So building upon that success, how do you think you build on it and continue it here in the 2025 season?
We take it day by day. We get through our preseason training. We look at each tournaments individually, what teams we're playing. And, like I said, back then in the MPSF championships, we're not rebuilding, we're reloading. So, we got that taste of the championship last year that, we're hungry for it now this year. We have a lot of young players coming in, a lot of upperclassmen. We both have Ryan Carpico returning. He took a year off last year for study abroad, and Eugene Kruger coming back. So we have a good mix of upperclassmen and underclassmen as well. So looking forward to just them combining and getting that team chemistry that we need for the year.
Yeah, we're going to talk here in a little bit with Nick Thompson, one of the utility players out of Michigan. Maybe talk a little bit about Nick and what we can expect to hear from him and see from him this fall.
Yeah, Nick is just an overall athlete. His capabilities in the pool and outside the pool are amazing. But what I really want to touch on is he's just a good person, a good leader, a good role model. From his freshman year, he had a very raw talent that, he came here and we really developed him into the player that he's at right now. And, he's coming back bigger and better. He gained 15 pounds this summer. And, he put on that muscle that he needs to, not just compete with D3, but also the D1 and D2 teams too. So he's really just, great athlete, but just a great person outside of the pool. Academics wise, he really leads that team. Just to be a good person, which is what we look for on this team.
It's great to hear. So we talked about these 16 returning players and the success you had last year. Who's new to the team this fall that we should be looking out for that's going to help the cause?
I was just talking to my assistant coaches the other day. I'm like, who's going to be that starting line? And, that freshman class that's coming in, we have 6 coming in that are going to all come in on that same level as their upperclassmen returning. So we have Owen Crow from Texas. We have Kaden Kurikowski, our new 2-meter player. We have Jack Johnson from Philly area. So we have a really good group. Riley McDowell, too, from Michigan. A lot of them are former teammates of the current players in our team. So they already have that team chemistry being built in. So it's going to be a really interesting year and very hard job for me to pick, who's on that lineup and who works best for that championship game. But a lot of the boys are motivated and they're looking good for this year.
Well, that's great. Glad to hear all the excitement and to see the roster being built up the way you're building it, Coach. Anything else you want to say here as we wrap up about Penn State Barron, about the program, anything you're excited for the future that you want everybody out listening to hear?
We're just looking to be better every day. I'm really excited to, host one of our MPSF conference tournaments on October 18th. That will be a really good battle between all, 7 teams that are there playing, and I think it's going to be a really close call this year of who's coming in and who's going to be taking the top. It's going to be a really fun game.
Yeah, well, that's great. We wish you all the best of luck this fall, Coach, and keep doing what you're doing to build the program up. And again, good luck this fall. I'm excited to watch you play.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the 2025 MPSF Media Day. We keep it rolling here with Wheaton College and head coach GT Ladd. Coach, can you hear us okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
We got you, Coach Ladd. Welcome.
Great.
All right, Wheaton College. Coach Ladd, you're entering the second season of existence for this program. Maybe talk a little bit about Wheaton College, where it's at, and the development of having varsity water polo there.
Yeah, Wheaton College is in Massachusetts. We're about 45 minutes southwest of Boston and about 20 minutes northeast of Providence, Rhode Island. So it's a nice little spot. It's a small liberal arts college, about just under 1,500 students. Really strong academics, draws heavily from the Eastern Seaboard and its traditional students. And I think that's why the administration was very excited to have water polo joining its collection of quality varsity sports here in Division III. As we all know, water polo draws heavily from areas outside of the Northeast, although there are great club programs in the Northeast. We do a lot of recruiting out of California and Texas and the Midwest, including Pennsylvania and Florida. So that's kind of the trend we've had with our recruits over the last 2 cycles. We're now entering our second full season for the men. So we're really excited.
Yeah, that's great. So your second full season here, 2024, first season in program history. Well, what's it like now to be pursuing your first program win in the history here? Is that something that we can expect to see this fall from Wheaton College, Coach?
I like winning. I know my athletes like
Sure you
winning,
do.
and so we are absolutely looking forward to it. I think it will be a very big difference between this year and last year is that we actually have not only a full roster, but we have a very good amount of subs. I think that we played very competitively for 2 quarters last year against most opponents, and then the wheels would come off as our athletes were understandably exhausted, and that was to be expected. That was not a surprise to us as a program. We remained patient, and very much a credit to our student athletes. They remained patient and remained at the time, and now more than ever invested in our program and looking towards the future. So everyone's very excited this year.
Yeah, and I think we're all excited for it, not just for you and the program, Coach, but for water polo in general across the country, for Wheaton College to get their first program win this season and to continue to build college water polo in the Northeast is a great thing. You talk about those returners that had to play a lot of minutes last year. Can you talk a little bit? We're going to talk to Spiros Rapsimonkis in a little bit here. Can you talk about the role that he played last year and what we can expect from him moving forward?
Well, he bore an amazing amount of physical and mental burden for his team and his teammates last year. He was not only our go-to scorer and our best defender, leading in both categories, scoring and steals, and not just on our team, but across the MPSF, very highly ranked. But he was, even more importantly, a humongous team leader for us, keeping the wheels on the cart as long as he could, as everyone was getting exhausted, and really showed his amazing character. Now that we can grab him a minute a quarter, or maybe if we're lucky, we could get 2 minutes a quarter of rest for him. I think we're going to see even more fireworks from him, and even greater levels of leadership and achievement for himself and for his teammates.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're expecting that big improvement from year 1 to year 2. We have some questions from the media asking the same thing. Who are you adding of those 8 players, new freshmen coming in, who do you expect to make this impact to help out guys like Spiros get those 2 minutes of rest a quarter that you're talking about?
Yeah. We have 8 freshmen coming in, which we needed the numbers. We needed the numbers last year. Obviously, Spiros was one of a big group of freshmen last year, and we have a big group of freshmen this year. I don't have any one in particular freshman that I'm willing to put all the burden of achievement expectations on, but I will say that we've got of our 8, we've got 3 kids coming out of California, 2 kids from Texas, 1 from Michigan, 1 from Ohio, and 1 from Pennsylvania. They're all very quality student athletes. In particular, I would say that Nick Boyer from Ohio and Hudson Kashiba from Michigan, who play for a very good and very strong Wolverines water polo club that did quite well at Southern California Junior Nationals this summer, as both of those players played a lot of minutes and had a big impact on that team. I happened to be at a few of their games at JO's this year and watched them in action, and I'm looking forward to them bringing their poise, their strength, and their skill to an already strong freshman class.
Well, that's great. Sounds like you're building that roster from top to bottom with some great geographic diversity all across the country. International is a great way to put Wheaton College on the map. Coach, last 30 seconds here. Anything you want to say to everybody out who's listening and watching about Wheaton College, about the upcoming season, and what we should all be excited for?
Well, I think that spectators and media alike will be impressed by the rebound of a program that continues to build. And again, like I said at the beginning, it's very much a credit to the student athletes. The class of athletes that we have, they are mentally tough, and they've had to be. And so I think that people should watch out for some good, not just individual achievement, which we had last year, but team achievement, and they should be reminded where that's coming from. And I think that's the mental toughness.
Yeah. Well, great to talk to you, Coach. Really excited to continue to see the rise of Wheaton College water polo and the growth of water polo in general at the college level in the Northeast and across the country. Thank you for being a part of that and for pushing forward. And thanks again for being here today. And we're excited to watch you on the pool deck this fall.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right, wrapping up our MPSF East Media Day section here for the 2025 season. We have Coach Nikola Mlezanov from Washington Jefferson. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well.
Good. Thanks for joining us today, Coach. And I think we're all here excited about promoting the 2025 season and getting excited about what's coming up. What gets you excited and out of bed in the morning, ready to coach this team this fall in 2025?
Well, I think we have a lot to prove this year. We have a bigger team than we had in the past. Very good group of young freshmen that coming in. A strong group of returners. We only have 1 senior. So not only do I look forward to this year, but I also look forward to the years to come.
That's great. Building up here towards this 2025 season, your women in the spring were able to qualify and compete in the Division III Collegiate National Championships. Is that a goal that you set also for the men this fall? Is that something you're excited about to push the MPSF and try to get that automatic bid into the Division III National Championship?
That's the goal that we will always have. As we saw with all the talks today, that a lot of teams have similar goal, and it'll be very hard to break into that national Final Four spot. We understand that, but we work hard towards it. Our girls had a very strong success last year. They showed to our guys team that it's doable for a small school from Washington, PA, to do something like that with a very small roster. We have the blueprint, and we're going to work on it.
Yeah, you talk about where you're at geographically. Maybe take a minute here to tell us a little bit about Washington Jefferson as a university. Where are you guys at? What makes Washington Jefferson, W&J as some call it, a special place for student athletes to continue their education and compete in water polo?
Well, W&J is just outside of Pittsburgh. It is one of the oldest schools in the country. It's 1781 when it started, so it's as old as America. It's a small school, and but the school has done a lot of very strong improvements. We have a record-breaking freshman class as a school. It is very strong academically, very competitive cost-wise. So it brings the value of the education versus the cost, and as well as very challenging athletic programs on all levels. We have some of the best D3 football, baseball players, women's water polo as well, and we're going to work on the men's as well.
Yeah, I had to write down 1781 as a year that I did not have on my bingo card of when Washington Jefferson was founded. That's a great accomplishment for that university to continue, and we're excited for water polo to continue to grow in Western Pennsylvania. I know, Coach Nicola, you've done a great job with that. Talk about that surrounding Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania water polo community and your alumni base and what it means for the support and the success of the program.
Well, there was recently an article about the Pittsburgh Masters program in the Pittsburgh water polo community. There's a lot of history here. A couple of CLUPA Hall of Famers are from this area. Mark Gensheimer, who played for Bucknell, Coach Michael Schofield, the coach of Naval Academy, Mike Graft, who was the chair of USA Water Polo for a while. So there's a lot of history from here, and the area has produced some Division I national team athletes. There's always a few upcoming as well. The club, age group club, and a high school from here are also strong. Very competitive. The high school team has won states a few times, including last year. So there is, even though it's a small area for water polo, there is some strong presence, and W&J is definitely a part of that.
Yeah, it's great. Great to see the sport continue to grow and thrive after such a long history building out there. Coach, anything you want to say here in the last few seconds here of about the program, about the season coming up? Anything else you want to add here before we go?
Well, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I think it's great what MPSF has wanted to kind of share that side, and W&J is looking for sure. So we're looking. There's going to be a lot of good games. The D1 coaches mentioned a lot of challenging games for them. There's some professional teams this year coming to the East Coast. The D3s are going to have a lot of strong games, so there's going to be a lot of good water polo in the area, and I really hope that encourages more and more students to look at water polo. I saw the stat that only a couple % of high school players play water polo in college, and let's make sure that percentage gets higher.
Yeah, I think we're all excited about that, Coach. Excited to see water polo grow. Excited for this 2025 season and the competitive games ahead. Good luck this fall, and looking forward to seeing you on the deck.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Bye.
All right, we'll keep this 2025 MPSF Media Day going here. We've talked to all the coaches from all the programs. We're excited now to talk to some student athletes. We're going to talk to the MPSF East Division here, our Division III institutions. We're excited to be joined by athletes from all these schools, and so excited to see everybody here on Zoom and on the screen. We're talking to you here live from Costa Mesa, California. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we're going to go in alphabetical order here. I want every athlete to introduce themselves, say your name, your position, your hometown, and one quick thing about what you love about your program. And so let's start with Augustana.
How's everyone? My name is Declan Hutton from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm a goalkeeper at Augustana College, and the reason why I love the program is just the people that coach brings in and the community that we all built.
Hey, thanks for being here with us. All right, let's go to Austin College.
Hello, my name is Caleb Maddox. I'm a goalkeeper. I'm from Dallas, Texas. One thing I'd say I love about the water polo team at AC is definitely just the environment that coach provides. His attitude every day just makes you want to come in and work.
Awesome. Connecticut College.
Hello, my name's Carson Neidert. I'm a utility player. I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida. And one thing I love about my team is just how close and connected we all are. We're really tightly bonded family. And then our coach just makes life so much easier, getting to work, getting together, and making everything happen.
Great. Thanks for being here. Johns Hopkins.
How's it going? I'm Alec Baker. I'm from Redondo Beach, California. I play the 1-2 side. One thing I really like about Johns Hopkins is the opportunity, how you can really drive in the classroom and then also play really competitive water polo with a great group of guys who are just as equally driven as you.
Great. Penn State Barron.
Hi, my name is Nick Thompson. I'm from Hudsonville, Michigan. I'm a utility, and one thing I love about our program is it's a great mix of athletics and academics.
Great. Washington Jefferson.
Hi guys, I'm Timothy Deutsch. I'm a goalkeeper utility from Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And one thing I love about my program is playing under Coach Nicola. I think he's a legend in the sport, and he makes a great culture for us and our small team to really feel like a big impact.
Awesome. And Wheaton College. We can't hear you, Spiros. If you
hear
can
me now?
maybe unmute yourself.
Hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, bud.
Spiros Manikis. I'm from Corfu, Greece. I play on the 1-2 side, and something I love about Wheaton College is that we are building something special, and I'm proud to be part of laying that foundation.
Certainly are, going into your second season of existence here. Great to all have you guys here. We're excited to promote water polo in the MPSF, but obviously all around the country, and Division III water polo in general, and what you guys are doing out here. Just going right back in that same alphabetical order. Everybody take just a quick minute to let us know what you're most excited about this 2020-25 season that's different than last year, and what we should expect from you. Starting with Augustana and straight alphabetical again.
Yeah, what we are most excited about is the year before, placing third last year nationally. You can only go up from there. This year's the best chance of doing that, and yeah, I believe fully in my team, my coach, the coaching staff, and all of our capabilities in placing higher than third place nationally.
Go ahead, Austin.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? My audio cut out.
Yeah, no worries. Let us know what you're most excited about for this fall season, and what makes it different than last season.
One thing I'm excited about is all the new guys, 100%. We only lost one senior. We brought in, I think, 8, 9 guys. So I'm super excited what it's going to be like to have a more younger team, for sure.
Great. Con College.
I would agree with just the amount of young talent we're coming in with this year, and building off of what we had last year. For me I'm going to be a senior, and we had the most wins that I've been a part of in a season last year, and we only lost 3 seniors, and we played with a really young group to begin with last year. So just building with that, getting 3 new young guys that are really going to help us build ourselves, and especially going into our first year in the MPSF, I'm really excited to see what's going to come out of this.
Very cool. Johns Hopkins.
I think the first thing we're super excited about is joining a new conference. This is going to be a great opportunity to get some really competitive D3 games that we haven't had a lot of in the years past. A lot more experience in D3 under our belt. And then also we got like 6 or 7 new freshmen who can all play really strong. They're all really smart. So we have a lot to look forward to this year. We're going to be really competitive, and we got a lot of talent. talent to work on.
Great. Penn State.
What I'm most excited for this season is we have a lot bigger roster than last year, so definitely have more subs in, and a bunch of the guys we brought in are real great players, and a couple of us have freshmen that are like from our high schools or club teams, so we already have that connection with them that we can help bring to this team.
Great. Washington Jefferson.
I'm really excited about the new freshmen we brought in. We only have one senior this year, so it's going to be really exciting to build off of this team. And we're already coming into the season with a big fiery spirit. There's a lot of competition in the pool, and we're really pushing each other this year.
All right, Wheaton.
I'm very excited about the new freshmen too. We have 8 new guys coming in the team, and I'm also very excited about helping build the Wheaton's program within the MPSF. We'll be putting a lot of work this preseason, and I'm just looking forward to testing ourselves during the season.
Great. I got to tell you guys, it's pretty cool to see everybody on the screen like this, and all around the country, from all your programs representing. I think we're all excited to see water polo continue to grow and diversify. New programs like Wheaton just coming through, and Con College, Johns Hopkins joining the MPSF for the first time this season. So we're continuing to see the growth here. One of the unique things about Division III water polo is that water polo might not be the absolute center of your life. So we're going to go back around the horn again, and I want to hear a little bit about what your summer was like. Maybe something uniquely different that you did because of the school that you chose to go to, and let us know a little bit what your summer preparation was like before we got into this fall. So let's start again with Augustana.
So this summer I was fortunate enough to come back home to my home country of South Africa, where I did one remote internship and another internship with a company nearby. When I was not working, I've just been relaxing and also training a lot for season. Something really interesting that I did is I went on one of the highest commercial bungee jumps in the world not so long ago. So yeah, that just shows my spirits and me diving right into season.
Yeah, goalkeepers usually do take risks, and you're a little different than everybody else, so and not surprising to see. Let's get to our next goalkeeper here, Austin College. Yeah.
June for me was kind of a normal month. Kind of kept it heavy training pretty much. And then July was weird just because I got to take a lot of time off, which I haven't done since I started polo. And then August, I kind of picked it back up, but I also was still kind of able to relax. I got to go visit Canada for 2 weeks with my friend. So it was just a weird summer in the way that I had a little bit more rest than I usually have had just playing water polo. But I was able to practice a bit in August, so I'm feeling ready.
Great. Yeah. Really excited to hear more kind of what you guys are saying about what your off season is like being a D3 collegiate player, right? And how that can be different here. So Con College.
Yeah, so this past summer I lifeguarded at the water park near my house, kind of just chilled at home. During my off days, like not being at work, I tried to get into the pool as much as possible, get some shooting in, actually with one of our freshmen, Topher Cook, because we went to the same high school together. And then a little side thing I'm doing right now is for what I want to do in my future, I want to work in cybersecurity, and so I've been studying for my CompTIA Security Plus certification exam, which I'll be taking in December after the water polo season's over.
That's great. Good luck with that. Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, so I'm one of the Johns Hopkins guys Coach mentioned earlier who's pursuing the biomedical path. So I got the opportunity to do a cancer research internship in Boston for the Broad Institute. So that took up a lot of my time. And then outside of that internship, I got the opportunity to join a Masters water polo club in Boston, Metro Polo. So that's where I got most of my training in, and as well as just training in MIT pool. So that was a good balance this summer.
Yeah, good balance of trying to cure cancer and play a little Masters water polo. Yep, that's seems like a good balance. That's what D3 does. All right, Penn State.
So most of the summer I worked in landscaping, and then I was also coaching my old club team, and I would hop in with them to try and get some training in, and also teach them what I learned in college.
All right, great. W&J.
Most of my summer I worked on maintaining 42 acres of farmland, and I was able to get ton of money to go on a couple vacations. I bought a Harley, and I was able to come back and help run a camp and get in the pool and feel good about myself.
Yeah. What's on those 42 acres of farmland? Anything cool? Yeah.
Just a lot of property. Nothing too crazy. Not a ton of corn. Just a lot of land and fallen trees.
All right. Fair enough, right? Maybe you could build a pool out there. We could have our first water polo game out on the farm, right? But put that on the to-do list. Wheaton College.
This summer I was back in my back home in Corfu, Greece, where I grew up playing water polo. I was a lifeguard for the beginning of the summer, and then I just kept training and swimming and conditioning, as long as playing some beach water polo as well. So I feel ready and strong to compete for Wheaton this season.
Great. Again, really excited to continue to promote your season. Last question here for you guys. We're going to go reverse around the horn here. So I'll start with Wheaton College and go back. But just let us know one thing that you want everybody out there who's watching and listening to know about your institution, your program, about this season, or anything about the school there that you're really fired up about. So we'll start with you, Spiros, at Wheaton.
Well, of course, we're a very new program. It's
maybe hit that mute button again, son. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Of course, we are a new program. It's only our second season. We have 8 new freshmen. We are very motivated to just keep working hard in preseason and just trying to show our best selves during the season. And I think we'll do some very good things this season.
All right, looking forward to seeing you play. Good luck this season. W&J.
W&J is one of the oldest colleges in the country, founded in 1781. So I think it's cool to keep up their tradition of excellence, and they're a very great sports program. And the guys team is looking forward to learning off the girls and following their footsteps for hopefully a national championship run. So we're very excited for the season.
All right. Good luck with that. Penn State.
I'm just pumped to see our new freshmen in action, and I've seen them in the pool a bit, and they look great, and I'm excited to finally work with them and have a good season.
All right. Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, just based on these last 2 weeks of practice, I don't think I've seen a team as driven as us this year. At least in our last 2 years, we have a different type of energy, a different type of competition in practice, and I think we're going to really make a show for ourselves this year. I'm really excited about it.
All right, good luck, and congrats on the upgrades to the facility as well, and keep growing Johns Hopkins water polo. Con College.
With a bunch of our guys going over to Europe this summer and playing out there, I'm really excited to see what they're going to come and bring back with them to the pool, and just getting ready for this first week back in the pool. Just excited for the grind and getting ready for competition, going up against such great Division III opponents that we have.
All right, Austin College.
I am super stoked about our new assistant coach, Max Wade. I think he's going to provide a lot of things that we've been missing, just in terms of being on the bench and being able to analyze the game and see things that maybe Coach Lawrence won't be able to see just because he's doing so many different things, but also just his insight and all of his coaching experience.
All right, great. Now finally, Augustana.
So going into our 5th year ever in our program history, we have managed to maintain 2 nationals appearances. And on top of that, our school and also Coach Pryor has the most insane ability at attracting athletes from the most luxurious places around the world with the best weather and taking them to Illinois. And I'm talking South Africa, Spain, Hungary, Australia. That in itself is enough to show why Augustana is so good.
Yeah, a unique corner of America there, Quad Cities, where Augustana College is. Congrats on your success. You guys keep it going. Now we're going to take a few questions from the media, from the group, and we'll go from there.
Guys, this is Sean Stringham with Game On Live Studio. It's fantastic to see your faces, incredible stories, everything from farmlands to incredible upcoming freshmen. I want to know how some of you are joining the MPSF for the first time. What does it mean for you guys to have such a great conference for the MPSF to compete in and to have an opportunity to win a championship in?
Yeah, you want everyone to ask? Sure. Yeah. Let's go right back through. Let's go from the top then again. Augustana through.
So you mentioned just joining MPSF. Would you like me to still answer that?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah. We all feel honored to play in a conference such as MPSF. Being in Illinois where there isn't much water polo, it's nice to travel all around the country playing against competitive Division III teams, and also the inclusion of John Hopkins. Yeah, that's competition that we're really excited to have, as well as Con College. Yeah, just looking forward to it. Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, quick answers here from everybody else. Austin College.
I would just say I'm super excited about John Hopkins joining the conference. I think it will be great for us. Another team to push us.
Okay. All right, keep it going. Con College.
I just think being a part of a conference where now we can focus on our Division III games is really going to help us improve our game.
Okay. Hopkins. Can't hear you, buddy.
Can you hear me?
We got you, bud.
Oh, okay. I just said that I don't think that there's another conference with this many D3 quality teams that you can get that level of competition.
Good stuff. Penn State.
You know, I'm excited for new teams, Con and John Hopkins to join our conference because it'll give us more teams to play against and kind of mix it up. And it's also great to be a part of a conference where we can go play against D1 teams too and, you know, get more experience that way.
Great. Washington Jefferson.
I'm very excited to have Con College and Hopkins join our MPSF, and I think MPSF is a great way to get to travel the world and get to see different parts of the country here.
All right, Spiros at Wheaton College. I got one question for you from the media. You can skip this one. We have a different one for you. So just coming through online here, a question for you specifically, Spiros, was that you led the conference in steals last year and were among the lead leader in goals and points, but you pretty much had to play the whole game. So what's it going to be like for you this year and your teammates to have some subs and be able to get some rest and give you a chance to catch your breath?
Well, it feels great having
Sure it does.
some freshmen coming in. Personally, I want to keep playing as much as possible. I want to be able to play the entire game, so I'm working very hard in the preseason right now. But I'm just looking forward for the new season because I think we're going to do some very good things, and can't wait to see our freshmen also competing against the new teams in MPSF.
Great. Well, take advantage of some of that rest. Breathe through your nose, right? Take deep breaths, and excited to see you guys get your first win in program history as well this season as well. So continue to grow. So exciting to have all of you here from all of your respective institutions. We're excited to see who the automatic qualifier will be for the Division III National Championship. You guys continue to represent your schools, your institutions, and sport well, and best of luck to you this fall.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Wrapping up our 2025 men's water polo season media day here for the MPSF conference. We've saved the best for last. We have 4 outstanding student athletes to my left over here, ready to talk about themselves, their season, and the things coming up here. We're so excited to continue to promote the sport of water polo and the MPSF conference and all that's happening here. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. Thank you for being here, taking the time out. I'm sure you're excited to miss a little bit of practice, hopefully, or maybe the day's a day off. Season has started now, but great to have you here. So let's just go down the line. Introduce yourselves. Let us know your name, school, position, and what you love about your program.
Yeah, I'm going to start off. My name is Bernardo Herzer. I'm a current senior here at USC, and I'm a goalkeeper.
How's it going? My name is Wes Temkin. I'm a senior goalie at Stanford, and I love the pool at Stanford, first of all, and also the intensity our coaches bring.
My name is Ryder Dodd, sophomore, attacker. I think the biggest thing that draws me to UCLA is the rigorous academics and athletic excellence that they bring.
My name is Marty Satmary. I'm a left-handed attacker at Cal. I'm going into my senior year. And the thing I love the most about Cal is the relationships that I've built in the past 4 years.
Great, guys. You've all been a part, or are a part of very storied water polo programs, and all 4 programs represented here have had a lot of success over the years. What makes 2025 unique, different? What gets you excited about this season as compared to these seasons past? Go ahead and start with us, Marcy.
To start off, I think last season was really difficult for us, and the result that we achieved was not what we wanted. And this season is just a season that we want to use to prove that Cal isn't how last year went. And over the spring, we did a lot of hard work, and I'm just excited to compete this year.
I personally think the biggest thing that draws this season past the other seasons is the amount of competitiveness that each team brings. I think each team is better than they were last year, so they just bring a different edge that is going to be really good to see for a lot of the viewers at home.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We had a very top-heavy team last year. We have a lot of younger guys this year with an insane amount of skill. We lost, I think, 90% of our MPSF goals. We lost 9 guys, so we're a very young team, but it's super exciting because we can build and grow chemistry and just become like a new Stanford identity.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. Every year is a new opportunity and a new season. I'm really excited for what SC is going to do this year. We returned 17 guys and just continuing with our culture that we have, and really excited for the season.
Yeah, well, one of the hallmarks of the MPSF season is the rivalries that exist between your institutions and the excitement that comes from these matchups. So maybe talk about the matchup you're looking forward to the most, the rivalry you look forward to the most, and what playing in that kind of environment does for you and what it's about.
Yeah, I'm just going to start off. We had the MPSF tournament finals at UCLA last year, and that was just an absolutely electric scene. We played, I want to say Stanford right here in the semis, and played UCLA there in the finals, and that was just an absolute thriller of a weekend. We got to prove a little bit of what SC could do that season, and looking forward to it again this year. So,
obviously, Stanford Cal, huge matchup. Last year we went 1-1. I'm excited to bring it to 2-0 for us, and I think that's always just a super fun environment, like very active, and that's just what you play for. It's super fun. So excited for that, Marty.
For me, I think any game against any of the top 4 teams is a good game for me. They all bring incredible competition, incredible crowds, so it's just something special to play for, and I'm just really looking forward to the competition and game day.
Yeah, I'm excited to play everyone. There's going to be a lot of good competition this year, but like always, the Cal-Stanford rivalry is just a really exciting game every year, and NorCal just brings a lot of good energy to these games.
Yeah, and just so you know, we got you this way on purpose. We staggered SC and LA and Stanford and Cal just in case anybody wanted to throw an elbow this early in the season. But it's good you guys space yourselves out. You're behaving yourselves. It's great. But that's obviously one of the greatest things as a spectator and a fan of the sport, and everybody out there watching. If you get a chance to come to any MPSF game, it's going to be exciting. But getting a chance to watch these rivalries, these true rivalries that don't exist just in water polo, but institution to institution, is one of the great parts of our sport. And we get great crowds at these games, and bringing all that excitement, I think, is a real big part of this. Talk about the people that aren't here right now, your teammates that you're most excited to play with, newcomers, returners, but talk about the chemistry and the makeup of your rosters just briefly to give some shout outs to people that aren't here today.
Like a lot of the guys have said, we have a lot of new guys coming in this year from freshmen, like Beso, Aran, Tomas, to transfers like Don Brown, having a new lefty center is going to be a really big change for our program, and it's going to be a position that we're going to really make good use of. And then just overall, I'm excited to play with all the guys that I've been with for the past 3 years, my classmates, and like I'm just super stoked that I'm going to get one final run with them.
Yeah, I think out of all teams, our team kind of stayed the same from last year with a bunch of our guys graduating, but we kept kind of the core group of guys together, and I think that's the biggest part I'm kind of looking forward to is just playing alongside my brother again. Obviously, don't get too many opportunities with him, so taking advantage of every opportunity with him, and then other guys that I obviously are incredible players and maybe won't get to play at the next level. So just taking advantage of everyone's last chances of playing water polo together, and honestly any guy on the team that I just can't wait to keep playing with them.
Yeah, I'm super excited to integrate with all the new freshmen and sophomores and juniors. Like I said, we have a super young team, so a lot of the playing time will be on like the lower end, which is super exciting because you don't really see that much, especially like in the Big Four for water polo. So I'm excited to learn with them, teach them, mentor them, be somebody that they can look up to, and just continue to get better together as a whole.
Yeah, awesome. I think you said it best. The people that aren't here are really the most important. That's starting with the grad students that we have at SC now. A few of us in the grad class that are all going to be working hard to lead the team. Some juniors that have stepped up into that senior role now. Some of these sophomores that maybe didn't see a lot of minutes in the past seasons, but are now filling into these larger roles with the gaps gone. And lastly, the recruiting class that just came in of incredible freshmen that I'm so excited to see how they're going to integrate and how they're going to continue to uphold this SC culture.
Awesome. Shout out to all your teammates back home, coaches back home, right? Getting ready for preparing for season. We know school starts at different times for some of these programs, but we know everybody started practice, right, officially just a few days ago. So tell us something that we don't know, right? We all kind of have our expectations, our understandings of Stanford, Cal, USC, UCLA. Maybe give us something that we won't know as the standard person, the water polo fan. What don't we know about USC water polo? What we don't know about your programs as you go along?
Yeah, I think one thing that a lot of people don't know about SC is really about the culture that not just the players have, but also the alumni. So it's one big family between the active members and also the members that are watching from the stands now that have lived the program and are now supporting it in a different role, and how they're able to continue to help contribute to our culture, whether it's through events or whether it's just through hanging out with one or two of the guys and really continuing to uphold everything that's the legacy of USC.
Yeah, one thing about Stanford is that like our team is super, super close. We hang out inside the pool, obviously, and outside the pool. Like we're all each other's best friends, and that really adds to the chemistry during the season, out of season, and just the program entirely. And that's like a culture that Stanford's had ever since I've gotten here, and I don't think that's super common across sports in general. So I'm super happy that Stanford is that, and that's something that I would like people to know.
Yeah, I think at UCLA we have a brotherhood that's kind of hard to find at any other school, and along with that, I think we also train so hard together every day to play our best on the weekend, and I think that above all else is we also swim the most and swim the hardest. So yeah, so I think just looking for that when you're watching us is you'll see.
Our team's success is just as important for the guys that are on the team as for the guys that are off the team, the people that graduated. So every training, every game, we're thinking about ourselves, but also the people that are watching us and supporting us. And our group is way bigger than the 24 that are on the team.
Talk a lot about the history of your programs, the alumni, right? The people that support you that are away from the pool, and so always great to give credit to those people outside of there. All of you uniquely had some different summers preparing for this season, and so I would really love to hear a little more about what was unique about your summer and maybe even the last 8 months that helped prepare you now to compete at your highest level in 2025.
Like I said, last season didn't go well for us, so we put a lot of effort into this past spring to rebuild our team, specifically our team culture. And And then over the summer, we had a short, just 1 month break, and then we were already back to training June 20th, and we've continued to work on rebuilding this culture that belongs at Cal.
Yeah, I think starting from bottom end of our team all the way to the top is everyone got a unique experience, whether that was at Junior Worlds, Senior Worlds, or World University Games. And I think that is going to make our team a lot better, not just because of the experience, but the time that they're getting to spend together. So I think just the different styles of water polo they're getting is really good for us as we move into the season.
Yeah, everybody's been training super hard at Stanford. We have 2 weeks off during the summer, so it's just been going nonstop all summer with like track workouts, pool, lift, everything. So everybody's in amazing shape. We've been swimming a ton. There was guys playing Senior Worlds, Junior Worlds, so a lot of different experiences, similar to what Ryder said. We also went to Japan as a team, which was great for like team bonding, and played with the Japanese national team, so it was fantastic.
Yeah, I think Coach Pinta talked about it in his interview earlier. You start for your championship preparation in January, right when that last championship ends. So throughout the offseason, we've been working hard to continue with the core group of guys that we had, so that when these freshmen come in, that there's really, really easy integration for them, and they know exactly where to fall into our culture. With that said, there have been a few different players that were international this year with their respective national teams. So that's been great for culture and different approaches. And as a team, we were able to head over to Puerto Rico to do a little training trip, so that was a blast too.
Yeah. All that international experience will be something fun to watch for everybody this fall in the 2025 season. I also want to give a shout out to your SIDs, your sports information directors. They've clearly trained you guys all very well on sound bites here. All of you have this timed just perfectly on the 45-second sound bite. So keep it up. This media training is going well. This is how we grow the sport. That's how we keep going. I know there's media here online. There's people media here in person. I think it's a great opportunity to ask some questions and field some questions to the media for the athletes up front here. Yeah.
Hey guys, Sean Stringham with Game On Live Studio. It's great to see you here at Media Day. I want to just start with saying a shout out to MPSF for having the first ever Media Day for college water polo. I think that's incredible. I'm curious, from a water polo collegiate athlete perspective, what can we do better from your athlete perspective to help grow the sport?
Great question. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here. I think that what's happening right now is the start to that. Just the exposure of our sport is so special, and it's such a small community right now. Looking around the room, I've seen so many of these faces in so many places, and it's just familiar to me. So starting with having coverage of our sport and continuing to grow and show people in states outside of California that water polo is a sport that can be played and is really engaging for the youth and for the higher levels.
Yeah, kind of adding to what Bernie was talking about, like having coverage for the sport and having the games filmed. Like I know this past year at National League, there was a lot, like all the games were filmed, which is amazing, which is a huge step. But it also started with you, Sean, back in like when I was playing JOs, like Game On Live Studio was the first, seemed like the first platform to really like offer a lot of coverage for these games. So it's just been increasing, which I think is absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, I think Bernie said it just right. I think it starts with the media coverage, and organizations like Game On Live Studio and Overnight are doing a great job of broadcasting that to the public, which I think is needed on an everyday basis for this sport to be pushed to a higher level and to get some national attention from different countries and different people to kind of make notice of what we have and how special it really is.
Yeah, I mean, the three of them have summed it up pretty well. The speed water polo that has grown the past couple of years, especially like in the U.S., has been incredible. There's more international people coming to the U.S. for college athletics than ever, and it's things like this that that kind of viralize the sport and increase people's attention, and I think this is great.
Any other questions? Oh. All right, as we start to wrap up here, gentlemen, one thing that everybody out here who's watching, who's listening, who's going to see this later potentially on the recording, give us one thing that should get them excited about watching your team play this fall.
We have a lot of firepower this year. This season is not going to go like the past one, and that's a promise from all of us. We're super excited to play. We've been training really hard this summer, and we're just super stoked to go at it.
I think all the training that we've put in for the past 8 months now is all kind of coming to fruition, and the hard training that we've all put in, the long days of practice, it's gonna show in the pool, and I think we're gonna be one of the teams to have the most fun, which is at the end of the day all that really matters.
Yeah, like I said, we have a super young team. On paper, we look completely different than every other Big Four team, and I think a lot of people will not see us coming. And I think that we can cause some huge upsets this year, and that we will cause some huge upsets this year.
Yeah, if I told all the secrets, then it wouldn't be me. Coach Pintar has a plan, and I trust in that plan, and I know that every single player on USC's team is bought into that plan right now, so it's all going to come into fruition, and I'm just excited to be there to execute. So, yeah.
Well, first of all, hey, thank you all, gentlemen, for being here today. Thank you all for continuing to help promote the sport of water polo. Everybody out there who's watching and who's listening to this, follow these guys online. Come to their games in person. Watch on the streams. Watch everything you can. Consume as much water polo as you can. Share as much water polo as you can, because these guys are great role models for your children who are out there. Anybody who's grown up playing water polo, these are high-level student athletes, incredible not only incredible athletes in the game, but also great students in the classroom, and really can show a role model of how you can balance that in your lifestyle out there. Water polo is growing in America. It's growing around the world, and the MPSF is at the center of all this. So we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you all for your questions, for what you're doing. This is the 2025 Men's Water Polo MPSF Media Day signing off, and we look forward to a great season. Thank you all.